Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. The Tekken 8 patch is now live, and as you can see here, one of the big things of the new Tekken patch is we have the Tekken store. So the Tekken store, you can have a bunch of classic costumes for various characters, and it is my understanding that there is more to come in the near future as well. And if you want to get avatar stuff, effects, also all these UT shirts, they're free, by the way. Yeah, so Tekken Store will be here from now on. So, you know, next month, months from now, years from now, there's going to be all sorts of cool things added over time. I'm sure it'll work out. And for those that you are wondering, yes, costumes cost 400 Tekken coins, and bundles come in 500. So, yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the patch. Now, a few things to note about the patch real quick. One, if you want to check the full unadulterated patch notes, check the video description. It'll be linked there for you. Also, some other things that aren't strictly, you know, balance / gameplay related. Things like taking measures against rage quitters is now going to begin. It states here, high-ranking players who are being reported multiple times and were found to have cheated were removed from the leaderboard, and their ranks will be reset to beginner. So expect that to happen over time before they go for the nuclear option, which is permanently banning rage quitters from the game, which is what they're looking for. So if you're doing that, you probably should stop. Also, lots and lots and lots of bug fixes and small adjustments that don't necessarily bear mentioning, but if you want to see it once again in full, check the patch notes in the video description. A lot of the balance changes here are basically nerfs. I'm not going to call it anything else. They're nerfs. You know, we're going to get started on that Tekken World Tour soon enough, and they want the game in a good state. Some characters definitely could use some buffs, but a lot of the things that are taken out are, like, especially egregious. Like, they're kind of bad news bears, right? No one's going to be really arguing against a lot of the things that were taken out, and we'll cover a bunch of those. And yes, there also is some buffs, including, you know, some buffs that are a little bit of head scratchers, let's put it that way, but we'll get into it right now. Now, one of the big changes is a lot of situations with chain grabs, where chain grabs, if they hit in certain ways, could no longer be broken. That is now addressed. I'm using Nina and not King specifically because she had actually one of the best examples of it. Her wall standing 3 would transition into one of her chain grab setups, right? So if you use this specifically as a punish, then this was guaranteed. So you get like a 50 damage punish of just, like, you know, a basic while standing situation, right? That was pretty crazy. So now, no matter what, though, these weird situations where the chain grab as a whole was guaranteed, those are now addressed. So it's basically a glorified bug fix, but I know a lot of people got up in their feelings about it, so I just wanted to mention it and highlight it specifically for the video. The first part of a chain grab might still be a guaranteed punish, like the part where they get you in whatever situation it may be a punish, but the rest you can still tech. Also, another thing to address, which is once again technically a bug fix, but has pretty big balance implications, is how people are able to recover from certain splat situations in certain combos. So not too long ago, we made a video about June and just some things that was very strong about the character. One of those was actually nerfed like the day after the video was made, and now the second one of those is now being nerfed right now. So I'm showing you an example on the screen of one of her combos, and basically due to the way the enemy lands kind of face down, the next hit's effectively unavoidable and can be some very big damage. However, how this works now, so now they're in the face down state, there's actually a chance to escape now when there was not before. So now, like normally, how this would work is I'd get basically guaranteed damage, right? There was no way out before. So how it worked before is basically, because you're kind of at a weird angle, I'd get guaranteed hits on you, nearly unscaled damage, making my combos do like almost 100 damage just off basic launchers, right? Now, if you just simply back roll, and we go for the same thing here, you're out, you're free, you're good to go. That's it. So combos like this and other ones like this that allowed for like gigantic near unscaled damage at the end because there was just effectively no escape. Once again, this is a glorified bug fix, really, but it does have big balance implications because people hitting you for like almost 100 damage off basic launchers will no longer be able to do such. Their damage is going to be more like the rest of the cast. So pretty good change for the overall health of the game, I would say. Another change that's good quality of life is icons. So a lot of characters have either like one-off effects or like a buff to build, and now that's represented on the screen. So starting with Leroy here, the cane. The cane's a very powerful attack, but it's a one-off attack, right? So you can see the icon's always ready to go, but once you use it, then the icon's gone, right? Showcasing that you no longer have the cane to use. This is training mode, so it pops up again, but you get the idea. Or say someone like Asuka, right? So you can either earn the buff normally or just be in heat mode, and once you have it, then it's lit up, waiting to be used, and it will remain as such until you actually use it. Now, obviously enough, there's a visual indicator too, but it's just nice to have the extra stuff on the screen. So it's there until you use it, and then when you use it, okay, it's grayed out again. So just good quality of life change, in my opinion. Alisa up one's been changed. So normally, if you're up against the wall, the third hit would connect, and it allowed for certain combos where you can get some like big damage at the end, follow-ups here, like, you know, low scale damage. Now in these situations, the third hit will just not connect like it did before. So this is a change it kept making. This patch, the last patch as well. A lot of characters that can get like way more than intended damage with a follow-up at the end of a combo on the wall or whatever. Then sort of just slowly taking them away. Is what it is, I guess. Because they're feeling that Alisa just got too much damage in these situations. Azucena Liberator stance now can properly get all sorts of lows it couldn't before. So low heat smashes and low unblockable attacks. So when up against some of the nastier lows in the game, she can now kick you in the head for trying it. So basically a bug fix again, but technically is a balance change. For Claudio, small nerf, back 4-2 specifically leaves you closer to the enemy than you were before. So here's a comparison to how it was before the patch. So not a titanic difference necessarily, but it is there. So tiny nerf for Claudio. For Dragunov, a little nerf to his full crouch down forward 1-4. So this guy now cannot any longer scoop people up off the ground, and you still get the 4 to connect into a full combo. So before, when the enemy is on the ground, you can kind of freely hit them with the full crouch move, right? But now, the knee is not also going to connect into a relaunch into a full combo from there. Like, you can still use it in combos. Like, that part's fine. Like, that part's not changing. But if they're fully just on the ground, it cannot become like a combo starter in and of itself anymore. So, you know, he's already one of the best characters of the game, so tiny nerf. It's not going to affect him too much in the grand scheme of things. Now, King got a big buff. Like, he technically got nerfs as well, but those nerfs are bug fixes, so it's hard to call them true nerfs. Like, obviously, we went over chain grabs earlier in the video. Also, his back 3. So it had a bug where the armor on the Power Crush could last a lot longer than it was supposed to be. Here's an example that you're seeing right now on your screen. So basically, it made it that, you know, when you go for your quote-unquote guaranteed punish, you wouldn't get it because he'd still armor through it. That is now fixed. You can hit him after the move as intended, so don't worry about that. The buff, though, is Jaguar Sprint. So it's something you see a lot just because, you know, it's worthwhile in and of itself. It has the big buff while you're in the heat state. And if your heat smash gets blocked, you're going into it for a mix-up anyways, right? But what they added is the ability to hit the brakes and block. So you do not have to commit to it. Before, once you're in the run, like, you have a lot of options. Sure, you know, mids, lows, highs, throws. Like, you had a lot to work with, but you had to commit to something. Now, you don't got to commit to nothing. So if someone tries the big brain on you, like, they see you running, so hey, I'm going to hit a button, I'm going to launch you or something, right? And hopefully beat whatever you're going to try to do. Now I can just block and punish. I don't got to commit to anything. So for a move that's pretty alright to begin with, for a character that's pretty alright to begin with, that's a pretty sizable buff because it's effectively a feint. Now I don't have to commit to anything, and if you want to try counterplay, I can just simply stop and block and punish whatever you're going to do because you're probably going to go for a big move. So yeah, pretty alright buff for King is what I gotta say. I don't know if the character needed buffs, but hey, he got one. Now, Reina, another big change, technically a bug fix. Almost all these balance changes are technically bug fixes, but they have concrete balance implications. With their 3+4 on certain wall combos. So how it used to work, if you hit the enemy on a very specific angle, it would cause like a different kind of hit stun, where you can kind of keep looping combos after combos after combos and kind of kill the enemy from there, right? Now, if we kind of go off axis him with the 3+4 cartwheel, it will no longer cause that hit state. The combo is now done at that point. So Reina, like Omega level damage combos from like off axis wall stuff is now gone. She still has her regular wall combos. She can do the normal stuff, but those particularly overwhelmingly damaged setups will no longer exist in the game. Now Yoshimitsu Flash 1+4 has been nerfed, and this is the base version and also the no sword version / the heat version. So what's going on here? One, it does less damage, not a lot. The base version does 20 damage now, used to do 21. The no sword version now does 20 damage, used to do 24. Also, the no sword version now heals less as well. Another thing is the range has been nerfed a bit. So before, if I kind of just force my way to the enemy, I could always kind of make it a hit. Now, not so much. From the sides, still kind of difficult. Used to be a lot easier from the side and back turn. Just basically the hitbox is just worse. You got to use it purely as... Oh, there we go. We finally got it. It's now more just purely a defensive thing. Like, you got to believe the enemy is going to try to attack into the flash. Also, on side or back hits, the hit reaction's been changed up a bit here. You're now just pretty much always going to be facing Yoshimitsu, versus you would kind of fall in place before, which I guess could lead to some, degenerate setups. Also, if you happen to be in heat mode, so you have the fancy version of Flash, it now drains more heat gauge as well. Also, after 4422, this guy here. So before, you could get guaranteed down 1 after the fact. That is no longer the case. They added just a little bit more recovery to the move, so you can't necessarily just get that guaranteed damage. They did not intend for you to get a guaranteed hit after the fact. So Yoshi's still Yoshi. He's still got, all the fancy stuff he's got. But certainly one of the more abusable aspects of the character in Flash is now just curtailed just a little bit. Now Victor. So Victor, if you're unaware, had effectively bugged throws. His throw break window on his regular throws, and specifically the regular throws, the up forward 1+2 version is the same as it is for everyone else, right? But on his regular throws, the throw window was much shorter than it was for other characters. And now it's simply been brought in line with the same as everyone else. Just to note though, the visual bug where his 2+4 throw is broken, notice how he's holding, like that weird little axe knife, right? That visual bug is still there, and then he's like holding a grenade or something after the fact. So I don't know what's up with that. It's always been the case. Maybe that'll get fixed at some point. But yeah, for some people, they're abusing those throws, right? Because they're basically the hardest to break throws in the game in like most normal situations. Like, he was a better grappler than King in a lot of ways with these regular throws, because you could know it was coming and still not have enough time to break the throw. So now his throws are like everybody else's. And that's kind of the major notes of the patch. Once again, want to check out everything? The patch notes are in the video description. It's a lot of bug fixes. A lot of the things I covered in this video are actually bug fixes as well, but they're bug fixes to the point where they have like a remarked effect on the actual game balance. I applaud Namco for, coming at this stuff pretty quick instead of just kind of letting it fester for months and months and months, right? And hopefully more to come. We do know there's more to come in the future, and maybe now that, some of these more egregious things are getting fixed, maybe some of the lower tier characters can get some buffs. That would be nice. We'll see how that goes. And stuff like the Tekken Shop will have more content in the future as well. But for now, that is the video, and that's what's happening at the moment. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Tekken.
Love.